What's going on, everyone? Nick here from Little Man YGO over here with
Sam.
And we are celebrating 250 subscribers. Woo! All right. Thank you so much for all the love and support so far. It truly means a lot to us, and we're climbing the ranks of the YouTube ladder. So for our giveaway, we'll be giving over these Amaryllises. So we're going to have Sam right here talk about the guidelines to the giveaway. Sam, tell the people how to win these cards so they don't have to spend money on these themselves.
You don't have to spend $80 on an Amaryllis anymore. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to comment below on the channel. You can comment literally anything. Okay, you can put a period. You could say something that you love about Amaryllis and how much this card has changed your life for the better. Whatever you comment, that comment will be your entry into the giveaway. Then, for every comment that you have on past videos, right, you can get an additional entry into the giveaway. So we have, I don't know, how many videos do you think we have now?
About 25-ish.
25 videos. So
something like that.
If you comment on this video, that is your entry. And then if you go back and you watch and you comment on a different video, that's another entry. You have 2 entries now. And
wow.
If you comment on the third video, you have 3 entries. So for every entry that you have, or for every comment that you have, is another entry into the video. Then what we will do is I will take all of those comments and I will put them into a spreadsheet. I'll see how many entries you have. I'll put it into a randomizer. I will hit spin. I will do it on my desktop, and I'll record my desktop live. And if it lands on your name, you get an Amaryllis. And we decided that once you get picked, like the first person to get picked in the spin, your name stays in the pool. So you can potentially win 2 Amaryllises, and if you get very lucky, you can win all 3. And if you don't like it, too bad. We're giving away Amaryllises. So
exactly, that's the rules. We make the rules, you don't. So continue, and also after 250, guess what? We have ones for 500. We have ones when we hit 1,000 subscribers. I can't wait to hit 1,000 subscribers. That means we get monetized and you get better prizes.
Yes.
So
and one more rule: you have to be subscribed to the channel.
Have to.
I will check if you.
Yes, if you're not, then
you go neg.
Yeah.
Because you could have won an Amaryllis, but you didn't.
You didn't. Instead, guess what? You're spending $90 on a set of these puppies. All right. Jumping into the video, we have an unboxing of the pot collection, the all-anticipated pot collection with all the figurines, with all of the little dudes and the cards themselves that came within them. I ordered this back in February, and it's one of the coolest products that Konami has definitely put together here. It came in this nice little box. We already unboxed everything. We put the cards in the sleeves, but we wanted to show you guys and review what these figurines actually do look like, and give you guys some feedback on what I think about some of the product overall. So for starters, we're going to start with like the weird one. So the first one being the Shard of Greed. So obviously they all have this like little foiling blend, as the camera could probably catch it there, where it's this parallel rare kind of deal. And we also had a shard that came in. It's literally a shard, a shart, if you will. This is literally what came with it. The only difference is that the smoke is not coming out of it. So magical that is. I remember when this card came out and people were like very hyped over it. You remember? I remember some top players in our local area was playing this card in this deck, and then they realized that waiting 2 turns to draw 2 cards is ass. So shout out to the Shard of Greed, and we're going to go over some history with all these cards because there's a lot of good stuff here. The other one that's weird that also did not have a base is Moray of Greed. Obviously, a powerhouse in Fish OTK. One of the best cards for all those little dummy OTK decks, and this one also does not have a base. It's just like a Moray of Greed. It doesn't even stand up right, so like you even put it down and then just like slants over. It's just like it doesn't even know what it's doing, you know. But this is officially its highest printing ever. It looks gorgeous as is. It's $3. That's pre-sale. So if you're a Fish OTK player and you want to max this card out, I believe that this is max rarity right here. So those are the ones that just did not have the base on them. So
it's cool they included them.
It is cool that they included them because it's
part of the lore.
It is part of the lore. It is part of the lore. And obviously, they started mixing and matching all the different faces to one another. Like, for this one, we have Pot of Dichotomy. Beautiful card, too. Obviously, Pot of Avarice was banned in hat format. So this was one of the... you're good, honey. Say hi, Mary.
Hi.
Hi. That's my girlfriend. Very lovely. Shout out to her. Subscribe if you love my girlfriend as much as I do. All right. So, obviously, we have the Pot of Dichotomy here. This one, for those of you who do not know what it is, you have to activate at the start of main phase 1 like Cold Wave, and if You have to shuffle back 3 different types from your graveyard to your deck and draw 2 cards, and you cannot conduct your battle phase that turn. This card sucked, but in half format you needed it because of shuffle back all your hands and all that fun stuff. It was only good during that time period. So very cool way to show homage to the shit pot of avarice, as I would call it. So that was shit pot of avarice. Speaking of shit, here's pot of generosity, which is not generous at all. It's generous to your opponent who or whatever. But shuffle 2 cards from your hand into the deck and draw. Honestly, they should have not even printed this card. They're gonna save some trees and just like not even print this piece of garbage. But we got it in this max out rarity form. So if you have this and you have Mystical Wrath panel, you could just have them shuffle 2 cards back into their deck. So, but you can't do that in innocent format, so who cares? So, but obviously, very cool pot card. Honestly, the statue is better than the card itself. Like the statue made it worth it. The card was even printed. So, very very cool for that right there. Moving over to Pot of Benevolence. Benevolence. It's on a couple of cards as is. Target 2 cards in the graveyard. Shuffle them into the deck. After activation, banish this card instead of sending it to the graveyard. Okay, so this card doesn't make any sense either. You just shuffle cards into your deck. It's like shitty Transmigration Prophecy, but it looks like that tea kettle from Beauty and the Beast. So I guess it has some validation there. I don't even know what the guy's name is, but let's see if we get some holographics. You can't really see in these sleeves like some of the holoing, but yeah, guys, like this is a very very cool holo printing of Pot of Benevolence. The pot that we did not need to get reprinted, but that's okay. That's okay. Pot of Equivalenceness. This was great because this came out in the ABC era, and I was playing around this time. Sam doesn't. I don't know what he knows about the ABC Dragon Buster or whatever. But basically, for those of you who don't know, there's this fusion monster that you banish A, B, and C, and then you summon it, and you could tribute it and summon all 3 of them back to your field. So this card says that you could target 3 banished monsters, shuffle them into the deck, and then you draw 1 card. And they were a quick play. So you can chain it directly to that, and they don't get any monsters, and they just lose their monster for free. So it trades like that. Also was part of some weird strings of combo decks back in the day because everyone tried to like reblow their load, like they put back Maliciouses and stuff like that, and use Malicious 2 more times, get a free draw. Never really saw the height of competitive play unless, with the exception of this release. So very, very cool card overall. Pot of Riches, another piece of garbage, right? So as you probably see, a lot of these pots are absolute garbage, right? But for this one, this is the Pendulum ones. You know, guys, what Pendulum Monsters are? This is the spell cards that they held they were going to be monsters, and that's the one where a lot of people start quitting the game, and they make Lix monsters to fix that stupid mechanic. They ruin their game even further, but I digress. So this one says shuffle 3 Pendulum Monsters into the deck from your graveyard or your extra deck. Pendulum Monsters go in your extra deck when they die. Why do they? Who knows? But you draw 2 cards, and you cannot special summon with the exception of a Pendulum Summon. So this card was bad. This card was $40 when it was released. I remember when this card was $40, and then people realized it was bad and it was $3 in a month. So, but the figure's cool. The figure looks like someone from Aerial Monsters. From that, I mean, all of you are probably pretty young or whatever, except for people who play retro Yu-Gi-Oh who do remember Aerial Monsters. But super cool card overall. Now we're getting into some like really heavy hitters. Extravagance. Very cool. The Pot of Greed and the Riches put together. It's usually what I notice is that whenever you have Pot of Greed that's meshed in with these other ones, it's usually a pretty good pot card. This card definitely has some sentimental value for me. I definitely played this in a couple of decks prior to quitting. It came out in Savage Strike in 2019. At the start of your main phase, you could banish up 3 or 6 face down monster cards from your extra deck. So you banish them face down, and then you get to draw 2 cards. And you can't draw after that. You can search. So you had to start this at the start of your main phase. That they literally negated. You cannot activate another one because it's no longer the start of your main phase. So it has to be the first card you activate. But this, along with the pot, very, very cool. Going right on the shelf. One of the best ones that are in the marketplace. That's for sure. If you guys think I'm giving away this pot collection, you're high. I'm not doing that. So forget that nonsense. All right, Pot of Desires, neg 9. The amount of people who thought this card was bad on the release is actually absolutely mind-boggling. You banish the top 10 cards of your deck face down. Top 10 cards, and then you draw 2 cards. So very awesome. If your deck is full of like 3-ofs, then you don't really care because what's the chances? But the worst is when you Desires, and then you draw Desires off Desires. Such garbage because you banish the other half of your deck to draw 2 cards. But it really showed what people were willing to do to draw 2 cards out of this deck. And this card is obviously a powerhouse of a card. It's at 2 in the modern format for a reason. Should be at 3, but I digress. Pot of Desires. I remember when it was printed, it was $5, and I said, yippee. Yippee. And then obviously the main pot card for the modern era, Pot of Prosperity. Pot of Prosperity is Pot of Duality on steroids. We didn't get Duality yet, but that's okay. His nose fell off. All right, so he had a Michael Jackson moment, and his nose just like fell off right there. But that, yeah, they come in like different. They come in like with the pieces kind of falling off, and some people's pieces don't like attach super well together. It doesn't matter; they're being hung up. It's not like I'm throwing them against the wall. Of course, Prosperity is the one to break, but like whatever. Prosperity, he had a Michael Jackson moment. Overall, pretty good card. For those of you who do not know what this card does, you banish either the top 3 or top 6, just like Extravagance, and you get to mill that many cards on the top of your deck, and then choose one of them. Your opponent takes half damage. So that means that you see 6 cards deeper into your deck. That's right. You see 6 cards deeper, so they could do their 1-card combo and just like nut on everybody.
It's like a modern day discard.
It's a modern day Pot of Duality. Oh man, the Tengu the Tengu format staple right here, Pot of Duality. One of the craziest cards that I remember when this card was released. Yeah. I don't know where were you, Sam, when this card was released?
I was at Tri-County in Levittown, New York.
Yeah.
And when D-Rev came out, it was like that set was just.
Yeah.
I mean, so many good cards were printed in that set. This card was for sets for like $150.
And you had to have them too.
To have 3 of them.
You had to own this card.
Yeah.
They just saw whatever. My crush is also insane this time because like you could like see the card that they drew or whatever. But very, very cool figurines. Very, very cool.
I think that card changed. That whole set changed Yu-Gi-Oh.
Right. And then one of the best ones, Pot of Avarice. I remember when people Elemental Energy. And again, his tongue almost fell out. Again, a Michael Jackson moment that really didn't quite happen. But this card, 5 cards, put in the deck, draw 2 cards, was banned for a little bit after. It was part of the Dragon. It was a victim of the Dragon Ruler list. 3 of in Edison format. People don't really play it, which is absolutely bananas. Mind blowing. How fast that format has gotten. That this card is just not even that good in it anymore. OCG was playing with a little lot for the Sky Strikers, so you could like link off and then you could average them all back. And of course, it was 1 in Tango Plant format because you just put all your Tangos back in the deck and draw 2 cards. The fact of returning cards in certain formats, returning cards back to the deck was better than even the draw effect.
Yes. I have a famous story about that.
That's right. That's right.
I activated Pot of Avarice, returned 5, and forgot to draw 2. Because I didn't need to draw 2. I still won the game, but my main goal was getting the cards back in the deck. But, oops.
But Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah. We forgot this. And then, obviously, Pot of Greed with the spirit of the Pot of Greed itself. Look at this guy. He's sitting at home, right, running his Pot of Greed. So, this is what the spirit looks like. This is what the monster looks like in this form. Very cool. If anyone activates Pot of Greed, they draw an additional card. Garbage. Should not have been printed, but very cute that you can put him right on top. And they have a cute little grinny face, the greedy guy himself. Obviously, Pot of Greed.
There he goes.
And he fell. He's out. Well, let's talk about Pot of Greed for a little bit because there's a little miscarriage that happened over there.
What does this card let you do?
Draw 2 cards. The staple. What kicked it all off. The reason why any of these other cards were even printed. Draw 2 cards. The crown jewel of Go format itself. Absolutely incredible. And we were able to get 2 printings of the card in this collection. So one being the QCR itself. Let's get this out of the sleeves, boys. Let's get this out of the sleeves. Because I already put in my Go format deck. Because why wouldn't you put this in? But look at that. Look at that mean QCR right there. These welfare starlights, as I call them. But it looks absolutely incredible. Exactly a good rarity upgrade that Pot of Greed needed. It had that ultimate rare. And I remember being at the Edison event where the duels packs literally just came out and the ultimate rares were sitting there for like $5 each because it's like, why would I want to buy a band card? Well, because it will turn a lot of money in the future. And then obviously you have the Ultra Pot of Greed in case you didn't like the QCR. So you had 2 reasons to get Pot of Greed and 2 ways to get Pot of Greed, both into this version. And I love both of them. I interchange both of them as is. Very nice rarities to add to this card. And this card was getting a little. The rares themselves and the commons are already like $3 each. So it's pretty crazy how these cards really did like shape the game and how important they were to it. And it was really awesome how they were able to honor this collection and just create all these little nice pieces for us that we could put on our walls. We could look at them. You could stick them around the house. You could freak your girlfriend out with them. Everything of that nature, right? So wanted to show off the pot collection. Hope you guys liked videos like this because there's more to come in the future. 250. The road is to go to 500. The road is to go to 1,000. We're going to go to 1,500 after that, and then we're going to hit 10,000, and then we're going to have 100,000 subscribers today. So this is just the beginning. So for those of you who showed support, thank you so much. Now you got to continue to like, comment to enter, comment in all the other videos for entry. And any other words, Sam? Any other words?
Just follow those rules, and you too can win a playset of Amaryllis.
All right, guys. Peace.
Thanks.